So I've been a student of China, and in my opinion, in this conference, we underestimate why China will become a hegemon and will not adopt liberal democratic principles. The argument is built up on maybe three legs. First of all, China is the only country that we know of that has a 3,000-year history going through 24 emperor dynasties. In each case, when one dynasty fails and another one begins, it's because the experiment in social order failed. And so we discussed here the rule of law. Yes, it was a very important creation, but it was mismanaged because it became the basis for huge corruption. And so to resurrect the rule of law in China is actually a very brave thing on the part of President Xi Jinping. But he understands his definition of the rule of law is actually quite different from what it was when it began the foundation of legalism. So the only model that they know, historically, is looking up for direction, loyalty, 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 obedience, 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 but that does not mean that the center micromanages the economy. Okay, this is something people don't understand. The best example I have is that when Deng Xiaoping opened the economy, this long, long speech, he closes out the speech by saying that going forward, it will be like crossing a river and touching the rocks on which to cross. In short, they had no clue how they're going to open the economy, but they have a history of trial and error. So in China, the idea of finding the way, crossing the river, is part of their culture. So when you study 5-year plans after 5-year plans, beginning in 1978, these are not the old Bolshevik plans. These are basically directional change, but the center in Beijing does not know how they're going to do it. They rely on the provinces, state-owned enterprises, private companies, cities, to launch experiments. And I'm not the only one who's been discussing that. The Economist had a very interesting article in 2018 where they observed that under Xi Jinping there's been a decrease in experiments. And there's a Professor Heilemann, a German professor, who published a book also in 2018 where he explains the reliance of China on trial and error experiments as a way of discovering solutions.